Blog Talk Radio.
Basically.
What the hell is that?
I'm sorry. Well.
Welcome to the Will and Thunder Show. Will and Thunder Show. Will and Thunder Show.
Welcome to the Will and Thunder Show.
Well, welcome into an early edition of the Will and Thunder Show. This is Kevin Thunder. Where you at, Willem Telltale?
I'm here.
Don't joke, man. What's the matter? What? You realize we're doing it? You realize we're doing a show here, right?
I'm hungry, man.
Man, Pizza Hut or Domino's is now one of our sponsors, so come on, get it together there, brother.
Hey, a man's got to eat, and I've been busy as hell today.
I understand that, man. I got you too, man. We had a set of storms running through here the last couple of days, man, and it got crazy around here. I got more sticks in my yard than I do in the trees. That kid's killing me here, man. Not even winter time, and I'm out here raking like a sumbitch. It's 100 degrees outside. The humidity's up. I got bronchitis.
One thing I've got, is due to this being an early show, I've got my 4-year-old daughter here in the studio with me.
That's all right. It just goes along with our show because today we're doing a little thing on Femetal, man. We, throughout our year or so doing the show now, have had quite a few bands with female lead singers, and we're going to do a little show today on how women are coming up through the ranks of the rock and roll. So, and Savannah there, she is a little rock chick, so, metalheads of all ages, come on.
Well, she's in the intro.
That's right. That's our little mascot right there in the intro. So, what's going on today, man? What you know good, and what's going on in the world of rock and roll?
Well, great, lovely. She made the cow. Don't have a cow, man.
That's right.
Well,
But so what's going on in the world of rock and roll today, man? What's in the news today?
Oh, you want some news?
I want some news, man. What's going on around the world of rock and roll? What's in the news today?
We'll get to that in just a second. I just kind of want to say something. I mean, without naming anybody's name, if you book on this show and then you can't do it or don't want to do it or whatever, tell us. Don't make us do a special date for you on a date that we normally don't do the show, and then
kind of bail without any kind of recognition or anything, man. At least send an email or something saying, look, you know what, I'm going to be a douchebag and I'm not going to call in because I really don't want to do your show. That's fine and dandy, man. You don't have to do it. I mean, this is all on the up and up, man. We're not going out and putting guns to anybody's heads out here. So if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But, man, don't leave us hanging neither.
Right, and I'm not gonna, if you want to know who we're talking about, I mean, it's easy enough to figure. It'll be easy enough to figure out, but still, I mean, I'm not going to give them any notoriety by mentioning their name on here. I'm just going to say all we ask is just if you can't
Mutual
do the
respect,
show,
brother. Mutual respect.
right? Just just let us know. Just let us know ahead of time. No hard feelings or whatever. But this is the second time now we've booked a national band, and they're all about coming on the show and everything, and then they just didn't show up because no no call, no show. I mean, in the case of both bands, look, it's not the '80s anymore. You guys aren't huge rock stars anymore, and this show may not be as big as that metal show or something like that, but still, we're going to be there eventually. And
that's right. I mean, you know what? It's just mutual respect, man. It's just man to man, mano a mano, man. Look, I understand who you are, and you have in your notoriety. The point of the matter is, I'm a man just like you are, and look, I've got things in my life I have to do as well. And when I take my time away to do, an interview with you, I mean, it's a favor for both of us, getting your music out and us getting our name out. But the thing is, if we weren't able to do it, we'd get in touch with you. We wouldn't leave you hanging, have you call in, and us not be there.
Right. I mean, something goes wrong on our end. I break my back. I go crazy, breaking my back. Bending over backwards, trying to
Figure something out.
Figure something out. Whether it's there's been 2 times when you haven't been able to do the show, so I had to find a co-host and everything, and
the show where our server crashed and we had to, we did everything we could. It took us 30 minutes, but we did it. We got on the air and we got everything rolling, So
like the Wardroom show. I mean, that show was a complete disaster, but you'd never know it by listening to it on YouTube now.
But yeah, I mean, that's all we're saying. It's a mutual respect thing, man. Just let somebody know what's going on, man. I mean, we're all professionals here, so it's just nice to have that courtesy.
That's right. So, I mean, we're gonna have our buddies Never Fire calling in here pretty soon. They've got a song for us to play. I haven't heard it yet. Looking forward to that. They should be here probably within the next 10 minutes or so.
And if you guys don't remember who Never Fire is, Never Fire, we had them on real early on in our in our show, and we've had them on once or twice since then, and they've been working on trying to get a little band thing together. They're a couple kids, man, and from what I understand now, that they've actually got the lineup together last time we talked to them, and they put together a song that we're going to play today. Just kind of see how they're coming along and see what's going on with them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've been kind of following their progress, and if this band makes it big or something, it would be really cool to be able to say that we chronicled their journey from start to where they were just high school kids in a garage to playing stadiums and whatever.
Exactly, man.
Whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Something else that nobody's done before. Nobody's nobody's been willing to give a high school band recognition like that. So it's cool. So
yeah.
So you wanted some news, huh?
Yeah, what's going on around in the world of rock and roll? I mean, there's always a little something going on, man. Always a little something.
All right. Welcome to
We are back.
Yeah.
That's a damn near a song in itself right there.
And the
Excuse me.
the little bit of music right after Kiss, it's on there.
Yes.
I like that riff a lot. The musician who put that together, awesome, man. I'd love to have him on the show sometime. Oh wait.
And who would that be?
Right,
Who would that be? Yeah,
he's on the show right
jackass.
now.
Anyway, All right, man. You ready to feel old, man?
I already do.
No, all right. Well, I'm going to make you feel even older. I mean, I know I just had a birthday a couple days ago, and your birthday's coming up in a week and a half. And both of us 41 years old, but I'm ready to make you feel even older, man. A band I really enjoyed.
Try being 41 years old and chasing a 4-year-old around.
Man, try being 41 and having 6 kids. Yeah, okay. Anyway. Get a TV, find something else to do, right? Anyway. Yeah,
where were they?
The
Scorpions.
Where
was MTV when we were playing, when we were kids and having unprotected sex? Oh wait, they were actually playing music.
They were playing music. That's right. And some of the music they were playing from this band I'm trying to speak about, and that's the Scorpions, man. Of course you remember the Scorpions, right?
Sure.
Next year, 2015. You know how many years they've been together? 50 years.
50?
50 years. Yes, 50 years. They're going to be putting out a new album, going out on tour. Now, I don't know if I want to see the tour. I mean, if they've been playing for 50 years, you'd think they've been together since they were, at the earliest late teens.
Yeah, so
they've got to be almost 70 years old right now. I mean, now that's that's a...
The guys from Judas Priest are like in their 60s.
I understand, man. That's just crazy to me. And they're going to head out there with a new tour, man, and they're going to be playing some music, and they're going to be going around celebrating 50 years. 50 years together. That's insane to me.
So is it, what's the new album called? Sex on a Walker?
I have no idea. I mean, it's, what is it, Rockin' Chair and Roll?
Oh, man, I love the Scorps.
Kind of halfway through the show, they got to go change their Depends. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on here, man. I mean, when I was a kid, growing up, as a teenager, man, you were listening to the Scorpions, man. I mean, Winds of Change, Rock You Like a Hurricane. I mean, everybody knows the Scorps, man. 50 years.
There's a difference between, what turns people on when they're a teenager versus when they were, an adult or whatever. But I remember that when the video for Rhythm of Love on the Savage Amusement album came out, and it's futuristic. It's got like a spaceship flying through it and everything, and like a post-apocalyptic scenario or whatever, and this smoking hot chick is in it and whatever, and I remember it being a kind of a sexy, racy video or whatever, but damn, I watched that video like last year or something. I actually kind of got turned on a little bit. I was like, damn, I don't remember this video being this explicit. Maybe I was just like, maybe I just didn't get it back then, but, maybe I was
Right.
a little...
Life experience kind of changed your perspective on the video there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It doesn't get any better than that right there.
So what are they gonna do? I mean, is Viagra gonna be sponsoring their tour?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Damn it, man.
Oh, mercy. It's crazy when most of your groupies have already gone through menopause. It's horrible.
Oh, damn.
And now, live on stage, brought to you by Viagra and Centrum Silver, I bring you the Scorpions!
Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Kind of. I guess these days it would be more like a tropical storm.
Yeah, oh man, come on now we're pushing it. Anyway, right on, brother. What else you got in the news, man?
Well, we've got the guys from Never Fire. They're on with us, but right now, we did the news.
Continue on with this later.
Well, we could do that, but wait, that's kind of what Claus Mean might say to his girlfriend. Can we continue this later?
Oh, you keep pushing it. Keep pushing it.
I love the Willis Thunder Show.
Yeah, we love you too.
Oh man, but we're not gonna keep them waiting too long. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of rock history just for this, just to keep our our itinerary the same. So
That's right. So and now, this week in rock history.
all right, rock history. What you got?
Well, you guys throw it out there. I mean, we are a rock and roll show, and it's not the type of rock and roll me and you listen to. But this week in rock history, of course, one of the legendary innovators of what, was called rock and roll, August 16th, was the death of Elvis Presley.
Elvis, he's dead.
I mean, I understand, but, that was a big thing. And, especially when he first came into the rock scene, he was what was considered risque back then, which is kind of crazy. But, you gotta put it out there, man. It's Elvis, man. It's Elvis. And, of course, I've heard everything and anything there is about Elvis because now I live 45 minutes away from Memphis, Tennessee, which is, where Graceland is and all that. So they have big Elvis things going on all the time, this time of year. But another band of that era, stepping a little bit forward right there, 1962. This week in 1962 is when the Beatles' final lineup got together and Ringo Starr played with the Beatles for the very first time.
Yeah, after they booted Pete Best. Bastards.
Yep.
Oh, man. Actually, this weekend, yesterday in history, back in 1969, Woodstock closed, and August 18th is when Jimi Hendrix performed his rendition of the Star Spangled Banner.
Real.
Yeah.
That's definitely, shining moment in rock and roll history right there. Everybody has heard the Jimi Hendrix rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. And a lot of people since, especially rock musicians, have gone forward and done the same thing, but Jimmy's is always going to be the iconic one,
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go ahead and bring the guys on from Never Fire. I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna play their song before we bring them on, and I'm gonna try and quiet my little metal chick here. So this song is called okay, I'm like way too distracted here. Take Your Daughter to Work Day on the Lone Thunder Show. She's got quite the radio career, doesn't she? She's gonna ruin mine. Hold on a second. I'm gonna bring the guys in, have them introduce this song for us. Hey, Never Fire. This is what's going on, guys.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back in, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
We're doing good, man. Got you guys recording, man. So tell us a little bit about your song, man, that we're about to play.
What did you say?
I said, we got you about ready to roll, man. Tell us a little bit about this song we're going to be playing.
That song in particular, that was one of the first songs that we ever recorded. We did a self-recording on it. but that song's going to be put on our finalized EP. But that was just just to get something out there at the time. But when the song you're about to play was made up until now, there's been a lot of changes to it, but it's still personally one of our favorite songs to play live.
Cool.
Well, right. Hey, what's the name of the song?
The song is called Not the Real You.
Not the Real You, right on. And who did most of the writing on the song?
The writing of the song, I did all the lyrics for it, and that's mainly what I do in the band is, besides play guitar and sing, is write lyrics as well. And I wrote the lyrics for that song probably back in February or sometime around there. And what I do is I write them and then I take it over to the other band members, see if they would like to change anything or have an idea of how to make the lyrics flow better. And that song turned out really good for us.
Well, all right, man. Well, Bill, Will, you got it there queued up, man?
Yeah, this is Never Fire on the Will and Thunder Show.
Take that back up! You're always the same, but round now you're a better person. No more life to me. Everything's gonna be clear. That behind that yeah! You played this game for far too long, stabbing the back at least 100 times. With your friends could see the person you really are. Stop pretending you're killing me.
Welcome back to the Will and Thunder Show. A little bit of Never Fire there, our buddies from Pennsylvania. The studio
World premiere of Never Fire.
That's right. The studio audience loves you guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you guys said there was a self-recording you guys did. You guys did it in your band room, or?
Yeah, we set up a room in my basement for a little like recording space, and we did it all down there.
Well, right on, man. It's got a good sound to it. I mean, you said you guys have done some changes to it. You guys writing any other material right now? And future recordings, are you plan on doing your self-recordings as well, or you going to go to a studio, or how do you guys plan on doing that?
For our actual EP that we're planning on doing, we have a friend that's over in Ohio, which is about a 45-minute drive from the town he lives in where we're at. And he does recording. He graduated from Full Sail University for music production and all that. So we're going over to him to do the recording for our EP.
Yes, we know Full Sail pretty well, man. That's pretty good school right there.
Yeah. We're kind of taking a break right now because our rhythm guitarist, he decided to leave the band here about a week ago.
Oh, really? That's the one that was having the issues with his parents for a little while?
Yeah.
Well, that's sorry to hear, man.
Did the parent thing, was it continued strife or continued conflict or whatever, and but with his parents about the band, or was it something else?
No, it was just basically, he has really too much on his plate to keep up with the band right now. He's trying to balance the job and, trying to see his girlfriend and also doing PT training for the military. So it was really it was hard for him to keep up with the band, and it was a mutual decision for him to leave the band. Nobody had any hard feelings over it or anything, so.
Cool.
That's understandable, man.
Military? He's joining the military?
Mm-hmm.
He's joining the military?
Yeah, he's leaving for boot camp next summer, I do believe, in June.
Well, next time you talk to him, tell him that we said, respect the hell out of him for serving his country.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And tell him that we're waiting for him and not to put the guitar down, man. I know he's got other things on his plate right now, and those things take precedence sometimes, but keep the guitar alive, man.
Yeah.
That's one thing that, that's one thing that can keep you through them long nights, and, especially when you're in the military, if you're overseas or something, guitar, music will, give you some peace that, you need deep down, so.
Yeah.
So you guys are kind of on a hiatus right now. You guys searching for another guitar player?
Yeah, because we knew that he was going to be leaving here about a month ago, and so we kind of started to get ahead of the game and search out and see if there's anybody that would be willing to be interested in joining, and we have somebody that's coming in on Thursday for an audition, so.
Well, there you go. Well, right on, man. So it's just kind of still in the evolution phases, man, trying to get the lineups ready and get the music put together. I understand how that works out, man.
Yeah, plus we're kind of taking about like a little, I want to say about a month break from doing shows, because ever since February up until our last show was Saturday night here in Meadville, we've just been constantly, like every weekend, gigging. So we're just kind of taking a little break from it, writing some new material and getting ready to record.
Yeah, cool. Our original singer for the first band we were ever together originally was from Meadville, Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
Yes, he was.
Everybody's from Pennsylvania, apparently.
Oh, at one point, we were going to go up there and play a show. Remember that, Will, way back in the day, we were supposed to go up there and do some kind of festival or something?
Something never really materialized, but...
No, I know, but, Mike Dirks was originally from Meadville, Pennsylvania, before he moved down to Florida, and we started rocking.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Did you guys ever play a show with Kevlar?
We might be playing a show. Have you ever heard of the band Avatar from Sweden?
Actually, yeah, I have heard
sounds
of that.
familiar, yeah.
We're supposed to be opening up for them with Kevlar in Erie on October 4th.
Really?
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a big deal right there.
Yeah,
we also might be Wait, what were you going to say?
I like Kevlar. I just find their management practices kind of, a little screwy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Actually, did you hear the very beginning of the show?
Not the very beginning. I kind of joined in like about 5 or 10 minutes after the show started.
Okay. Well, last night we had we did a show with we were supposed to have a national band on. We had them scheduled, and they kind of bailed on us. And I kind of had some choice words for for them and anybody else who would book on the show and then screw us like that. And Kevlar's manager, which is just one of the members' dads, we had them booked to come on the show because we really liked their music. They're really good. And then like the day before the show, I called him up because I had a couple questions that I wanted to just reconfirm. Dude hung up on me. I was like, okay, asshole.
Thanks for playing the douche. But anyway, man, so how much material have you guys put together so far? I mean, you guys are out there playing some shows, so you got to have a decent set. You guys doing covers? Are you guys doing mostly originals, or how's it coming along?
For the most part, we just been playing all original stuff, and at one time we had about, I think, 12 songs in our set, and then we cut it back because we started writing some newer material, because when we first wrote our first batch of songs, we didn't really know what direction that we wanted to take the music in, and then we all kind of buckled down on it, and we wanted to go in more of the hard rock and melodic metal type of direction. So now that we've been writing material like that, we kind of cut some of the songs from our original set, and I think we're up to 8 songs now for a set.
Well, that's still, I mean, that's a decent repertoire right there, especially when you're going out, you got to play 30 minutes or so as an opening band right there. I mean, that'll fill your time out. That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, and we're supposed to, I don't know if it might materialize into a tour next year, but back in June we played with a couple bands. One of them's from Los Angeles. They're a national touring band over here called Stitched Up Heart.
Called what?
The other band, Stitched Up Heart.
Stitched Up Heart?
Yeah.
I'll have to check them out.
I think I've heard of them, too.
They're from Los Angeles, and they were out on tour with another band from, where was it, Minnesota, called City of the Week.
Cool.
And
go ahead.
They came out here because they were on tour. They played in Meadville, and we got to open up for them. And after the show, lead singer Stitched Up Heart, she came out and was talking with us, and she says, "You guys are probably by far one of the best local bands we played with on tour," and so on and so forth. And she gave me her number. She's like, "Keep in contact with me." So I ended up messaging her about a couple of days later. She's like, "Well, we're planning a tour next year on the East Coast. Would you guys be interested in joining in on it?" So we might be doing that next year.
Well, right on, man. That'll be cool.
That's part. I know I've looked into them. Yeah, that name sounds
Onward
really
and upward, man. That's awesome, man. Onward and upward. You guys are going. I mean, I remember a year ago, you guys were just putting the idea together of getting something going. And look at you guys now, man. You started doing a little recording, man. Got you guys a set going, opening up for some bands, playing some gigs, and might be going on a tour over the East Coast next year. That's pretty impressive, guys.
Yeah, the response we've had from playing shows, because on Saturday, it was Sunday, was our final show before this little break that we're on right now. And it's one of the very few local shows in our own town we played, and it was absolutely, the response from the show was phenomenal.
Nice, man. Well, that's fantastic, guys.
Because even though we played, go ahead.
Well, that song, it kind of reminded me of old school. Oh, this band in itself is old school, but the really early music of Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah.
with the the way that the vocals were sung, kind of like more trying to find the right word, but more kind of like in a more like background vocals than the lead vocals. That's something that Mike Muir did like kind of early in Suicidal Tendencies. Their first
Which is
two
one
albums.
of my all-time favorite bands of truly
and even
phenomenal. Doc on guitar, man. I
even
love
the
the band,
guitar.
man.
Looks like we've got another member of Neverfire here. Hold on, I'm just gonna bring them in. Oh wait, press 1. Whoever that is, press 1 if you want to talk.
That's right. Come on into the box, man. Come on in and say something.
And now we've got two more. Press 1 if you want to talk. If you want to listen, if you just want to listen, then don't press 1. But yeah, and on top of the vocals, I mean the way that the guitar, toward the middle to the end of the song, where you kind of had like leads kind of playing over the top of along with the vocals and the music. I mean that kind of reminded me of early Suicidal as well. So that's not a bad band to be compared to.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So we're trying to mix kind of the old school elements with some of the newer metal that's out there today. So that's why I grew up a lot with like old school metal, listening to it as a like early teenager, and I always digged it more than what the newer stuff that's coming out today. So
You can't go wrong with the innovators and the old school, man. I'm telling you.
yeah.
It all generated from somewhere, and you hit that core, and you're gonna do well, man.
Yeah, because we're just, like, we throw, our newer material has more of a metal type edge to it with some old school sounding riffs in it and stuff and solos and all that. So we're just trying to keep it interesting, mix some stuff in there that you just wouldn't think would be in there.
That's the way to do it, man. Keep people on their toes, man.
Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, we've been gigging for almost about 5-6 months straight, so, and the response from wherever we played at has just been awesome. I mean, we played up in Niagara Falls, New York, over in Ohio a lot, some places in Pennsylvania.
So you guys are just moving outward, man. I mean, it's pretty speedy. I mean, as I said, what was it, February that we talked to you guys?
Yeah, that was
First time? Yeah, and from there on, I mean, you guys have, put something together and got some music written and out there playing, and, I mean, not just playing little hometown gigs, you guys are getting out and about and playing, other states and everything. That's impressive.
Yeah, because the way we looked at it when we first started is, since Meadville isn't that really big of a town and doesn't really have that big of a music scene here in this town, I'm like, well, we can play in Meadville forever and have 20 people come to our shows, but if we get into somewhere where the music scene for our music's kind of bigger, then we'll get that bigger response and get the word out a lot faster. So that's why we've been trying to play out of state a lot and try and get it out there into a scene where people actually want to listen to it.
Right on. So what do you think the time frame on your EP is going to be?
I just talked to the guy that's going to be doing our recording yesterday, and he's supposed to give me some dates that he's available, because everybody over in Ohio goes to him to whatever recording they want done, because he does it for really good prices. He only charges, I think, $15 an hour to record and everything to be at his place, and it's only $25 for mixing and mastering per song. So
that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
So
we've got one of the members, one of the other members of the band here in the queue. We're going to bring him in.
Come on in.
Hello?
All right. Yeah.
Welcome on in, man. How we doing?
Hey, pretty good. How you doing?
We're doing fantastic, man. Any better, I'd be twins.
That's good. Sorry I joined in late.
Oh, that's cool. Just so we've got people popping in and out of the chat room. I just want to let everybody know that we will have Christiana Skye and Emma Sheridan of Femetalism and Sonic Cathedral on probably in the next 20 minutes or so to talk to us about the growing concept of female metal. Hey, when we first started talking to you guys, you had a female singer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That just didn't work out for whatever reason, or did you just decide to go a different direction?
They sort of decided to go a different direction because John, our past guitarist, he was with the singer at the time. They were in a relationship, and they both said that it was kind of hard to manage because they had a job and they were kind of busy on their own free time and stuff.
All right, so it kind of just, that's one tough thing in the music industry, especially when you have male and female, collaborations with male and female in a band. A lot of times you do get a relationship involved in there, and that can really tear things up, man. For one thing, I mean, and one little problem, they can get you a fight in band practice turns to hell. It's horrible. I mean, forget about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Especially all the fights and everything. I don't know. It was just crazy.
Exactly. And that's one thing, it's hard to work with family or, with a loved one of any kind in any situation.
Yeah. They say that opposites attract, and that's very much true. But if opposites...
You can't collaborate on music when you're opposites.
Well, not only that, if opposites get married, oh, buckle in. Buckle up, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
And that's the story.
Well, I can just see the whole thing right there where, one of the two comes along with an idea for a song, and the rest of the band's like, nah, that kind of, doesn't go along with our thing. And then the other one's going to be like, well, I got to stand behind my girlfriend or boyfriend, or do I stand behind the band? Do I stand behind the music? It just becomes a muddled mess right there. So, yeah, it's kind of tough to do. I mean, it's been done out there, don't get me wrong. But far and few in between have bands worked out like that.
Yeah.
Even look at the Beatles, man. Look at what that crazy Yoko Ono did.
Yeah.
or Fleetwood
anyway.
Mac, another one. I mean,
exactly. I mean,
Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks were together the entire time, and oh man, that band went to hell and back. And then next thing you know, you've got the drummer saying that he nailed both girls in the band and everything. And yeah, what a mess.
yeah. Love is grand, isn't it? Love is grand. That's why I love rock and roll, man.
Well, that's going to be a good thing to talk about here in 15 minutes or so. I wonder how many of these bands, with the female singers actually have, are involved with one of the band members.
Exactly. On a different note, guys, so you guys are going to take about a month off, get your new guitar player in there and get him comfortable with your material you guys have, and you guys going to get back out touring after that, or you just get out there kicking again and then look into the recording and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, basically, we want to kind of see what his musical, what direction he wants to take the music in, and see if, because from talking to him, he seems like, I believe he posted some stuff on SoundCloud, and I took a listen to it, and it seems like what he plays and because he can sing too, he can scream and sing like I do, and he seems like he would be a really good fit for the band with his vocal style and guitar playing, so we're just going to have to see how it all plays out, and then we're going to go into, well, hopefully in September sometime, go into the recording, and then I think the EP should be out probably I want to say a rough estimate, probably October or something like that, but...
So now, are you going to take a hiatus from playing out and just work strictly on your material? to get that down and buttoned up real good and tight before you go in the studio? Or do you guys plan on, once you get this guy in here learning some material, going out and playing some gigs too?
We're planning on just kind of getting this, because like I said, we have that show on October 4th opening up for Avatar and Kevlar and a couple other bands that are from the area. But we're just going to kind of take a little break from it because we've been pretty much working every weekend at getting shows, playing 1 or 2 shows a week. So we're just going to
And on top of that, a couple of you guys are still in school, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I am.
Yeah, so you guys got to throw that in there too, man. I mean, rock and roll is a great thing to pursue, but I mean, don't let it get in the way of the school either. I mean,
Right.
rock and roll doesn't work out for everybody, and so you got to have a little something to fall back on too.
Right.
That's no fun.
I know it's no fun, but you know what? That's the parent in me coming out. I apologize. That wasn't very rock and roll, was it?
No.
I apologize. Fuck school, man. Go play your guitar. Hey, I redeemed myself right there, all right?
Yeah, you did. But I had already pushed the button.
I hope my kids didn't just hear that, though. Well, they got to take care of me when I'm old, man. Anyway.
Damn. Oh, man. So
what kind of places are you guys kicking at, man? I mean, you guys playing in bars? I mean, how's that working out for you guys? Especially, being underage, how's that been, playing to your advantage or disadvantage, man?
We've been playing. We played a couple of shows at bars and stuff. Like our gig up in Niagara Falls, New York, that was at a bar, but it was more of a concert hall than a bar. Like they had like a really nice stage set up. Sound guy was absolutely amazing. Had amazing stage lights, everything. But most of the shows we played at, it's been pretty cool. We played in some bars. Some of them are just strictly like concert halls or for band venues, stuff like that. So.
All right, well, right on, man. I remember when we started out playing music, I mean, sometimes it's an issue when you're, in a club atmosphere or a bar atmosphere, getting the underage kids, in there and out of there, because sometimes, you have to be 21 and up. Even though you're entertainment, it's, like, all right, well, you get to come in, set up, play, break down, and get out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, you and I were drinking in bars when we were 17.
Hey, yeah, I mean, we grew up in an area where, and everybody we worked with was older, so we were perceived as older anyway. I'm not saying that we acted older.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, though, the guys we hung out with acted more our age, so it was cool, so we kind of fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, man.
Don't drink underage.
Yeah.
A little PSA from the Will and Thunder show.
It does not enhance your guitar playing ability at all. I'm telling you this from experience. I got to a show about 4 hours early one time because everybody else had to work, and I was setting up all the equipment and proceeded to have some beer while I was doing everything. And by the time we went on stage, and I'm a bass player, I don't play with a pick, I play with my fingers, and I'm a fairly fast bass player. Oh, that night, it was like I was playing over the hurdles. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, yes. It did not enhance my playing.
And sometimes he would just, there would be times where he'd just stop completely. And
I'd get so far behind the song, and I couldn't, get it to catch back up, and I just, it was horrible. It was, I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, and we chewed his ass out for that, obviously. But,
yes. I almost got kicked out of the band for it.
But everybody who's in a band and drinks has a story like that. Now, mine came later in a different band. Oh my God, I was in the same scenario. I showed up at the bar early and just got started drinking early and everything, and oh man, I was the lead singer. I was just all over the place. All right, guys, all right, that's rock and roll. Oh, God, and there was a videotape of it too.
Oh, yeah, I mean, of course there's always a video camera there at those moments. You can have the most awesome show ever. Like, oh, did you get a recording of that? No, man, my phone died. Oh, man, you got a recording? No, I left my video camera at home. You want to act like a jackass? Look, everybody and their mother's going to have a camera, a video phone, and everything.
Yeah.
It'll be on YouTube when you get home, man.
Yeah.
At least we didn't have to worry about that when we were coming up, man. We didn't have YouTube, so you could act like a jackass and it had to actually be spread by word.
Yeah.
Well,
Now you have YouTube, Instagram, and oh Lord,
I got a hold of the videotape and I destroyed it.
There's no evidence left, except that it's been put on, the national radio right now, so nobody knows about it.
Well, hey, I hide nothing from the listeners of our show. I mean, we love our
Yeah.
we love our listeners.
That's right. That's right. Well, guys, man, I wish you guys luck on this big concert coming up, man. Playing with Kevlar. I hope you guys things work out with your guitar player, man. It's the new guy that's coming in Thursday. I hope that he is everything that you guys are hoping for, and maybe he can throw in there a little collaboration of his own, and fill you guys out more than you already are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here with just clear the air so we can get started with the with
Fem
our
rockers.
guests. But next year sometime we're gonna have you guys back, and it'll be just y'all's show. So
What we'll do is Will and I will get together and we'll get with you guys and we'll figure out a good time. Once you get your EP done and you guys are ready to roll with it, excuse me. Pardon me. I'm battling bronchitis right now, so just give me a second here.
sounds like you're losing.
But I am. I really am. But anyway, when you get your EP done and everything, keep in contact with us. Let us know what's going on, man. We want to follow you guys all the way through this, man. Till hopefully one day signing, man. We'll have a big show out here, on the Will and Thunder show, and have a big signing CD release thing for you.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Right, because this has never been done before. What we're doing, nobody. What we were talking about earlier. Nobody has ever. Nobody wants to give a garage band and time on a radio show. Well, you do if you want to be able to say you've been there from the start. So it's like it's really cool that we're able to do this. It sounds like you guys are really headed in the right direction.
Absolutely, man. It's kind of like watching a child grow right here, man. You from concept to everything.
Hey, don't call them. You just called our guests children. That's not.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about, man. Anyway.
Yeah, of course I know what you're talking about.
Well, guys, before I choke to death over here. All right, before I choke to death here, guys, I want to say thank you for being on the show tonight. And Will, you got this for a second. Give me 1 second, brother.
Yeah. I'm going to mute you, Thunder. I'll bring you back on in a minute. So hack away. But yeah, guys, thanks for being on the show. I mean, we'll definitely, once your EP is done, we'll definitely have you guys back on next year for your own show. And keep in touch, and we'll talk to you all next time. All right?
All right. Yeah, thanks for having us on the show.
All right, thank you. You guys have a good one, all right?
You too.
Yep, you too.
It's never fly. All right, that was cool. I mean, damn, they've made it farther than they've made it farther in less than a year than me and Thunder's first band in 3 years.
I mean, they're really moving, man.
Hmm. Yeah, that's makes me jealous. Damn it! I mean, we weren't being asked to be on a tour when we were their age.
I mean, maybe that just has to do with their work ethic, man. I mean, they're really plugging into it, man. And you know, the song, excuse me.
You all right?
The recording.
You gonna make it?
I don't know, man. Oh, Lord have mercy. But the recording could have been better, the recording quality. But once they get in the studio, they get everything mixed down the right way and everything.
Right.
Exactly. So why don't we go ahead and play a song?
Yeah, well,
let's go ahead and play a song from one of the many bands we've had on that have female lead singers.
all right, I'm going to go over and over.
Let's go ahead. Over and over? That's fine. We'll go ahead and play a song real quick and kind of set the mood for the second half of the show right here. And that'll give me a minute to try and get myself together.
Well, Emma's here. We're still waiting on Christiana, and I'm sure she'll be here just, in a matter of minutes. But we're going to play Over and Over by Mongrel. They're from Boston, kind of a punk metal band. We had them on the show a few weeks ago. This girl's got some pipes. So we'll be right back on the Will and Thunder Show.
And she's got kind of like a...
You get the joy from chaos. You're just a drama queen. Don't look at me or play play. You know exactly what I mean. It's the change. Oh, lying over and over again. One
welcome back to the Will and Thunder Show. That, of course, is Over and Over by Mongrel from out of Boston. We've got our two guests on the line. This is Christiana Skye from Sonic Cathedral website. Hi, Chris.
Hi, good evening, everyone, or afternoon where I am.
Well, it's early evening here at 6 o'clock, but I think it's a bit later than that over in Emma's side of the pond. Hi, Emma. Are you there, Emma?
Hello.
Hi, there she is.
How we doing?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
We're doing good. Welcome on into the Will and Thunder Show, guys.
Thank you.
They're not guys.
Ladies. I apologize.
That's okay.
We'll let you off.
What?
My level of political correctness right there was so wrong.
Dang. No, I don't give a shit about political correctness.
Yeah, no, here's the deal right here. We're doing a show
We
on
can
Femetalism.
curse?
The first thing
We can curse on the show?
Yeah, it's internet radio.
Yes. It's actually internet radio, so it's there's no FCC or anything involved there, so you have some freedom there.
Oh,
But that's just my
wonderful.
luck right there. You know, I sit here and we're doing a show on Fem Metal, and the first thing I do is, hey, what's up, guys? You're like,
Well, you know, for where my region, where I'm from, we refer to everyone as you guys anyway. I'm from California, so everyone is
Okay.
dude or bro, so.
That's right. Well, we're originally from Florida, so, it's like, dude, bro, what's up, dude? Yeah, so it's the same
Right.
thing. You had that little moment back in the late 80s where it's like, dudette, and that never caught on.
Yeah, that never really went over.
Well, that was Pauly Shore from that was California.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Christiana.
It's okay. It's okay.
So before we really get started, I just kind of want to point out the fact that this show is literally spanning half the planet because it goes from we've got Christiana in California, we got Thunder in Tennessee, I'm in North Carolina, and then we've got Emma in Great Britain. So
We're worldwide right now.
Worldwide.
damn right. And also the guys in Severnica are listening. I know for a fact because they just tweeted it on Twitter. So gotta say what's up to them, and we're gonna be playing one of their songs later. So
That's right. Coming in, hailing in from Finland.
Oh, all right, Finland.
That's right. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you into what you're doing right now? In the writing, first of all, and into this female metal genre.
Would you like to go first, Emma? I'll let you go first.
Yeah, that's fine. So basically I did a degree a couple of years ago, and a project was to create a blog. So I started writing a blog about metal, women in metal specifically, not thinking it would go any further than that, and it's just kind of grown since then, really.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So from a school project to what you're doing now.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's probably been about 4 years now since I started it, but I've only really sort of been working on it a lot more in the last 12 months.
So you built your own site. You built the site that you work for. You built it yourself.
Yes, it's my own site, yeah.
Wow, how wonderful. That's great. Well, for me personally, I can't say I came into a site that already existed about 9 years ago. I had a friend from Norway, actually, who kept telling me for about a year, you really need to go to this place. I think this is the kind of place you would like to go to, and you would be really good there. And I'm kind of reluctant to try new things, so it took me a while to get there. And once I did, I kind of found that I had a home there, and I started writing there about 9 years ago. This last July was 9 years since I started writing there. So I had a couple of years there where I took off for medical reasons, but for the most part, I've been writing there for most of the time. And I love the people there, the staff. Everybody's really great, and we all share a love for this music and all that. So yeah, I've been writing all my life since I was 5. So, and since I wasn't my original plan to write the great American novel never really panned out. This is kind of more my speed.
I got what you're saying. Man, it takes a lot to sit down and write a book like that. I mean, just the time, the patience, and, the control. And I respect people who can do that, but I definitely don't have the ability in me to sit down and write like a great American novel. And I love writing as well. And, I mean, it's just like creating a symphony. I'd much rather create songs and get a point across and sit there and try and write a whole symphony to get, an idea. So, I mean, that is definitely difficult. Have you always, or since you've been doing this, Chris, have you always been doing blogs on female artists, or is it, is it bigger than that? Do you do more than that, or is this what you specialize in?
For me personally, I mean, I have a smaller blog where I review albums here and there by bands that I can't necessarily review at Sonic Cathedral, like the male-fronted bands, or because we have so many writers and there's about a cluster of bands that everybody wants to review, I might take on one of those bands and review them on my blog because, they're so popular that somebody else already had, has the review over at Sonic Cathedral. I might do that, but for the most part, I kind of just keep my writing centered there. I used to write for another site that's now defunct, but other than that, I kind of just keep it there.
Well, all right. Well, what was the first band that you reviewed? What got you started with Sonic Cathedral?
Oh, God, the first band I think I reviewed, God, you're making me go back, but I think it was Macbeth. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was because that's a band that I've followed for a long time. They're from Milan, Italy, and they're kind of like a Lacuna Coil type sound. And I had become friends with their drummer online over the years, and so it was just I asked if I could review their album and interview them. So that I believe that was my very first review at Sonic Cathedral.
Cool. Very, very cool.
I my very first interview was from a female singer.
Yes, it was.
What a debacle that turned out to be. Jesus Christ! It was Pamela Moore, and thank God it wasn't on the show. It was before we started the show, and I think it was just something that I recorded and then turned into text, so I was able to edit out all the epic fail in it. But luckily, she's a very nice and friendly lady, and a complete professional who was able to put up with a with a failing rookie like me.
Yeah, she's very patient. She was. I actually would have to say she was probably my interview that came true, my dream come true, when I was approached to interview her the first time about 7 years ago.
Wow. So Emma, what is and if you guys have already covered this, I apologize. I had to duck out for a minute. But Emma, who was the first person that you've interviewed or reviewed or whatever?
Well, when I first started, I didn't really, a lot of it was just me kind of finding music and just talking about it. But the first band I interviewed were an Italian alternative metal band. They were called Celestis, and that was earlier on this year. So it's quite recent that bands have actually been collaborating with me on the blog. So they were the first ones that I did back in, I think it was April, May time.
That's very cool.
Oh. So you're still rather new into this, huh?
Yeah. As I say, it started about 4 years ago, but it was only really me.
Oh, okay.
Finding bands and sort of blogging about it. No one was really participating in it. It's only been in the last 12 months really that it's started getting a bit more coverage and a lot more people reading it.
Well, Thunder, these two ladies here are responsible for getting us some really great guests. Like for example, our guest next week is Lindsay Schoolcraft, the current female singer of Cradle of Filth. That was from Christiana. Thank you.
Hi, Lindsay.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's really. We've had quite a few female singers on our show. And, I mean, there's really a real surgence of, female singers right now. Well, what are some of your favorite bands and some of your favorite experiences, that you've come across doing this kind of work?
For me, it's been the support from the bands and that they all take a keen interest in what I'm doing and supportive of sort of the angle that I'm approaching the articles that are included on the site. So, it's a passion for the music and for, representing bands and promoting bands so that unheard bands are heard to a wider audience.
Well, we share a common interest in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's the same for me, too.
Yeah.
I think it's
sharing
something,
this love of this music.
Exactly. And Will and I, we've been playing together on and off since we were, in our early teens, 13, 14 years old. And, as you get older and you have more responsibility, et cetera, the band thing wasn't something we were able to do anymore. I mean, it just, you get responsibilities and time frames. And this is something that we can do, once again, to be a part of something that we love, something that, means something to us. And, also, when we were kids, didn't have the outlets like the, internet and YouTube, et cetera, and to hear some of these bands from all over the world, in an instant, it's unbelievable. And to get some of these sounds out there, a lot of these people being heard that, would never have been heard, it's just nice to be a part of that.
Yeah, I think that's why, for me, that's why I like to do it the best, is because, you discover all these bands that would never get recognition, at least here in the United States, and you get a chance to expose them to other people and, give them a chance to be seen or heard in places where they would normally not be seen or heard.
Right, and on top of that, I mean, you're giving something to the American public that, they would have lost out on right there.
Yeah, and, that's kind of, I think that's kind of the main motivation for me, because I've always kind of been, for a long time, I think I've been disillusioned with American mainstream music. It's just, I've always
You're not the only one.
To Europe.
It's the same for me here.
And the thing is, like, American mainstream music has been such garbage of years, the last couple of years. And then when you listen to some of these bands, not just the female lead singers, but these bands from overseas that are just unbelievable. I mean, especially in the metal genre. We have a resurgence coming back right now. Yeah, look at War Drum. I mean, there's so many talented bands out there that I would have never heard of if it wasn't for, like, Will or you guys coming, check out this band. These guys, really deserve, to listen to. That I had never thought to look, a Finland band or a band from, West Africa. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, I want to specify, for me, it's American mainstream music, because we have a lot of talented acts here in America that don't get recognition, like a band that I'm particularly fond of, that I actually voted last year at Sonic Cathedral to be the 2014's breakout band, and that for me is a band from Washington, D.C. called Sound of Thunder. And if you haven't heard of them, then everybody needs to start listening to them, because I think that they're kind of going to be the next evolution in female-fronted metal. Sometimes I forget they're an American band. They're so good. They're so fucking good. Like, I forget they're not from Finland.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
It really started. Before I say that, I got to give props to Emma here. Emma's gotten us some of our recent guests, including Rise Back. I love them. Their album is in my phone. And also Mongrel came to us by way of through Emma, and we've also got a couple more that we haven't booked yet that are waiting, because we're booked so like the middle or the end of September at the moment. So, but yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I love. I didn't even. All I knew about this genre last year was maybe Pamela Moore and Evanescence, and that's about it.
Oh God, you've got a lot of learning to do.
Definitely.
A lot of catching up to do. Especially, I mean, and with Riseback, and Mom Girl's a great band. Her vocals, I mean, got a lot of kick to them. Got a little Joan Jett feel to them, and their videos are.
I've kind of been following this crop, so to speak, since about the mid '90s. I think my first exposure really to the whole female-fronted metal thing was an all-female band called Phantom Blue back in the mid '90s, and then I caught wind of Lacuna Coil in the late '90s, about '98, '99, when they first started out, and from there they exposed me to bands like Nightwish, Within Temptation, Battle Lore. I mean, the list goes on. I could be here all day. You know, so it's I've kind of been primarily listening to those bands for years.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, but they're not very mainstream. If you go out there in the mainstream, even, you know, as far back as you can think of, you have bands like Kitty that were big, and, you know, few bands out there, but it never really, I mean, it's not mainstream, and it should be because, I mean, the talent's obviously there. I mean, they're fantastic singers.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these bands, if given the proper opportunity to be heard, they would be mainstream. But, you know, I think a lot of it for the, at least that I always hear back from Americans that I speak to that I might play this music for that don't necessarily like it, is always it's too dramatic, it's too over the top, and you know, I think most people like it real simplistic, like 3 chords, you know, boy meets girl kind of thing.
Yeah. That's the way it's come down to. I mean, that's this general metal or rock music nowadays. It's so stripped down to nothing. There's no guitar solos. I mean, metal music's supposed to be over the top, man. Look back in the day. You look at the, you know, late 80s, early 90s, throw on MTV or your Saturday night, you know, videos, and everything was over the top.
Yeah.
Everything was, I mean, wide open. And I mean, that's the way entertainment should be. It should be entertaining. It should be over the top. It should tingle every one of your senses. You should have to think about what you're hearing sometimes and put it all together. I mean, yeah, AC/DC was a great band, but you know what? There's only so much you can do with 3 chords. I don't know how they put out so many albums.
Well, you know, ask AC/DC that one. That's all, you know, I mean, they're very good at it, but I kind of tend to think there's just a handful of bands that can get away with that, like U2 and AC/DC, for example, and, you know, they can get away with that, and it's okay, but I think for the most part, people don't want to hear it all the time from everybody. You know, there's a time and place for everything.
Well,
exactly.
We've got, I want to make sure that we play, you know, I have 4 songs to play, and, you know, it's since we switched to this format, we're with 60-minute interview instead of 90. It's been kind of hard to get 3 songs in, so I want to, and I've got 4 now, so let's go ahead and break. I guess we're going to play Make You Real by Riseback, and they're out of Istanbul. No, where, Thunder?
Istanbul, not Constantinople. I got you, man. The last time we had them on the show, he kept, you know, talking about that song 3-4 days before the interview. And, of course, as soon as I get on, you know, with these guys, and I'm like, oh, so you guys are from Constantinople, right? It was horrific. Quite funny. It was good radio, but, yeah. Istanbul, yes. And they're a great band.
And I know that Riella, their singer, is she's either listening or she's going to catch the YouTube version of this show, and I'm going to embarrass her. I am totally in love with that woman. So there's something about her voice and everything. It just makes my soul melt, and I love you, Riella. I love you.
Anyway, enough about the love connection. Let's go ahead and do some music here, brother.
All right, this is Make You Real by Mongrel from Istanbul.
You mean Riseback, but anyway.
For broken hearts
welcome back to the Will and Thunder Show. That, of course, rise back from Turkey, Istanbul.
Not Constantinople.
Nope.
And that was a band that was shot to us by Emma right there.
Right.
And that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great band.
Yeah, their whole album. Their whole album. I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite song on that album because they're all like equally good, and that's how. I mean, any one of the songs on that album could be, I think could chart. Some higher than others, obviously, but I think that the just the musicianship and skill, along with how what's the word I'm looking for? Well, how good Riela's voice is. It's just
it would definitely hit the charts here.
I'm tongue-tied. I'm like having to chase my 4-year-old around all around the place. I've got her with me right now. It's not easy to talk when you've got a 4-year-old metal chick trying to get into things because she knows that I'm on the phone.
Oh,
That's
of course.
right.
That's the only time they want to get into things.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
That's just like my dog. He only wants to go outside when I'm on the phone or doing something.
That's right. It's never when you're sitting down and have all the time in the world that anything happens. It's that one moment where, okay, I'm in the middle of something, now something has to happen.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's just like, that's the way life is, They call it Murphy's Law, and it's more of like a lifestyle for me, So, Christiana, you're from L.A., right? Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
All right, well, you're in L.A. right now. What kind of bands are out there in the music scene right now that you're seeing that are following this, femme metal thing?
Do you want to go ahead, Emma? I keep interrupting everybody.
No, go ahead. I know this is kind of a, run into each other kind of conversation right here, especially when you can't see each other. If we were in studio somewhere, it'd be a little bit easier, but
right.
It's just a matter of putting a couple words in, pause a second, and see who picks up, so.
Well, okay, for me, I like I just mentioned a few minutes ago, A Sound of Thunder is one band in particular that's up on the rise right now that I really think is a good band, and another American band that is up and coming is Insatiate from the Southwest, like Arizona, Oklahoma area, and God, there's so many of them. It's hard for me sometimes to pick one or two out of the air,
Right. How's the metal scene in California where you're at right now? Is there some bands out there right now that you look at or you go see, or?
You know what? Where I am, I'm in Central California, actually. So for me, I have to travel for concerts.
I got what you're saying.
Here, where I live, the most metal band that's from here is Korn. So nothing against Korn. I like them. But that's kind of the extent of where the metal scene is here. There's not really a lot of. It's more a country music town. So there's not a lot of metal bands out here doing things. So.
Well,
I just had a disturbing image pop into my head. You said country, so I'm just picturing some Hollywood type person with face full of full of plastic surgery and everything, singing about riding in a hybrid truck.
Well, it's not exactly. Buck Owens is from this town, or this is the town he made famous, and Merle Haggard lives here. So, we've got genuine, old school country music here, and that's basically what the scene is. So.
Where I live right now is I live about an hour outside of Memphis and about an hour and a half away from Nashville. So I understand the whole country music scene very well. There's a lot of that in this area. It's hard to find a good rock station that,
actually,
has the
everybody
wattage
always
to pull
says
it.
that they always say that LA is a thriving rock scene, but we haven't had a heavy metal radio station in nearly 20 years.
That's
So,
insane to me, you know. And you know, you think of the Sunset Strip, and you think of all the metal bands and the hair bands that came from L.A. And it's you know, now it's more hip hop and R&B, and I mean, it's crazy. And country music actually has taken over the country. It's so, I mean, that's one of the biggest music scenes out there right now is the country music scene.
So that is what I love about being from LA, because that's where I'm originally from, is that there is a scene for everything. So whatever you're into, there is something. You just have to find it. I haven't found any femme metal bands from LA myself, but I don't live there anymore, so it's not like I can go down to the Strip every Saturday night and go check out what's around.
I know one female band from LA that's on the newer side. They've probably been together about 12 years. A guy that's from the area where I'm from, good friends with my wife, played with a band called Fuel, if you guys remember them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who they are.
Okay, you know who Fuel is. Well, his wife has a band out there, and and they're in L.A., I believe, and it's a really heavy band. And they're pretty good. I mean, I don't know how far they're, you know, going right now, but yeah, they've got a unique name. But they're pretty good. I mean, something to check out. I don't even want to say the name, but anyway, it's kind of disturbing. The name of the band's called Slunt.
What is Slunt?
Yes, and they're like a death, almost like a death metal style. I mean, but they have 5 or 6 videos, and I mean, pretty decent band.
You mean like slut and that bad word if it was put together?
Yes, exactly. Okay. That's why it's kind of, you know. I mean, but they're a good band.
I might have to check that out.
And they're from L. I mean, and I don't know if she's originally from L.A., but I mean that's where they make their home now. Is L.A. and New York.
Yeah, that's where they end up eventually, right?
Hey, one or the other. I was born in New York, and my uncle and cousin are from L.A., so I got both worlds right there.
Nice.
So how did this genre of these, you know, like maybe goth metal, symphonic metal, whatever you want to call it, who started that? I mean, it probably wasn't an American band, but I'm just wondering if there was any band in particular that you could put your finger on and say that was it. Like with Metallica and Megadeth, the big four. I mean, those are the ones that put thrash on the map. I mean,
I think a lot of people named The Gathering as one of the very first gothic female-fronted bands. As far as history goes, I would say probably, you know, a lot of bands would say that's where it started, or kind of like the foremothers of the movement, I guess. But there's also the second tier, which I guess would be the more mainstream of the bands that everybody knows in the scene, where it all started in the mid-'90s with Lacuna Coil and Nightwish and Within Temptation, and those are kind of the bands that everybody associates with that scene right away. But as far as like the beginnings of it, I think a lot of those bands hearken to like The Gathering and Third and the Mortal and a couple of other bands whose names are escaping me right now.
Yeah, I would say
happens to me all the time.
The Gathering as well, or Lacuna Coil.
See, I've heard of Lacuna Coil, but I've never heard of The Gathering. Are they still around?
I'm not sure. I've never been a fan of theirs, but I know their original singer left and went solo, and I think they still are around with somebody else, but I don't really know. I think that would be a point where one of my fellow writers would have to jump in and call the show.
I think they had a different. They had a new vocalist at one point. I'm not sure if they're still going now, though.
So,
Okay, well, all right, now we got to go back. We're going to pull it back a little even further. What do you guys think about, like, Vixen? That was, you know, all-female hair band back in the day.
That was a glam band.
Huh?
Not really. Not really
I know,
gothic.
hair band, glam band. I know it's not a gothic sound, but, I mean, it's still femme metal.
Well, I mean, I was born in '78, so obviously I remember all those bands from the '80s.
Absolutely.
You know, and Vixen was good, but I'm like I mentioned earlier, a female band called Phantom Blue. To me, they were always more. They were like the anti-Vixen. You know, I've always been more gravitated more to bands like, say, Phantom Blue or Chastain. You know, more of the heavier, you know, kick-ass kind of wearing the leather, Doro per se. You know, things like that. Vixen was good, but I kind of get the feeling that they were how a lot of the 80s hair metal bands were represented, more of the commercially acceptable version of what was going on for real at the time.
I got you.
So,
I got you. The lighthearted, parental accepted version.
Right, the ones that your parents would let you buy in the store, but you really wanted to buy, you know, you really wanted to listen to Leather, you know?
So, Emma, where exactly in Great Britain do you live?
I live in Sheffield in South Yorkshire, right in the middle of the country.
Cool. Is there a lot of bands that come touring through your area, or do you have to travel to go see?
There used to be quite a few, but of late we've had to travel quite a bit. We've been down to London a few times and Manchester, and we're actually travelling up to Glasgow later in the year to see a band because we can't get to see them all locally. So yeah, we do have to travel about a bit.
How far are you from Birmingham, the home of heavy metal?
Probably about an hour or so drive.
Oh.
So not too far.
Have you made the pilgrimage to like Ozzy's house and Tony Iommi's house and stuff like that?
No, I haven't.
Let's go ahead and break, and let's play another song. How about Savernica? What do you guys think?
That would be great.
Finland, I'm there.
Yeah, this is my journey. The one where got a little bit of guttural singing from one of the guys in the band. Yes, I like this band a lot too. And one thing that separates this band from like everybody else, you know, all the other bands in that style, this band is really driven by the piano. I mean, it's like they've got
and
this heavy
it's a clean sound, yeah.
Yeah. And
it's not mechanical, it's real clean piano. It's really awesome, interesting sound right here. Vocals are angelic, and the music is hard, but you have that clean, driving piano, which runs everything. It's really awesome, man. Real unique sound.
Yeah, so this is My Journey by Savernica from Finland.
You
our studio audience actually saw the band perform rather than just listening to the song.
Oh, I know, man.
That was, of course, was Severnica with the song "My Journey." They're from Finland. They have an EP out. You can pick that up on Bandcamp. You can also pick up Rise Back album on Bandcamp, as well as Mongrel. They're all on Bandcamp. So we, yeah, it's just the thing that blows my mind about Severnica there is, the musicianship all around is really good. You've got the guitars going, and they're very skilled guitarists as well. And then you just got the piano, just kind of, I mean, I know it's a keyboard, but still, it's clean. Just plunking along and everything, and it sounds, it contrasts. It's a major contrast, but it fits. It's unique. I've never heard anything like it.
I agree 100%. That is one of my favorite interviews we did. I mean, because the music was so different. I mean, it still got the sound to it, and it's the controversy between that heavy guitar and the vocal styles are the same thing right there. You have her singing with such a clarity and angelic voice, and on top of that, in the background, you have. Yeah, exactly. It's got that Beauty and Beast contrast to the whole thing.
I was just going to say that's a term in fem metal that's very common, Beauty and the Beast. I think that was that started with the bands like Liquid Coil and Tristania and a lot of the earlier fem metal bands. So it's kind of become a staple.
Which is a great thing, because right there, I mean, as I said, when you're listening to music, you want to do more than just hear it. You want to feel the emotion of it, and when you throw it back and forth like that, you get more of you can get more of a storyline out of it right there. I mean, you're feeling the controversy, and you can feel the pain and the emotion, and
Is controversy the word you wanted to use?
I mean, yes, in a way. I mean, whether it be good or bad or not. I mean, every story has a, every storyline you have that in it where it's, you get your beginning, then you have your little controversy or whatever, and then the clarity at the end. And in music, it's the same kind of way. And when you're telling a story like that, and you have two sides to a story, it's so much clearer to you. I mean, when you can have the both aspects right there. I don't know.
So I think that's exactly right. You really nailed it on the head, because I do recall the first time I ever heard Lacuna Coil was a song called Honeymoon Suite, and that was when I first heard that song. It's exactly what you said. It's a male and a female going back and forth. A lot of their songs are about fucked up relationships and things like that, and you hear the dynamic between the man and the woman having an argument in the lyrics and in the vocals between each other. And it was just something that really fascinated me at the time, because I'd never heard anything like that before. I'd never really
exactly.
heard.
Will.
This was back in the
we,
late 90s, so.
Oh, exactly. I mean, Will and I, we were in a band together, and we had a song that was called Heart, and the premise on the song was about a couple that were, deeply in love, and it was like a home invasion. And the guy gets up to try and protect his girlfriend or wife and gets shot and is paralyzed and has to watch her demise. Now,
oh wow!
Imagine taking that song, Will, and throwing a female's vocals in there to show her perspective of watching him withering there, trying to get up and help her, at the same time as he's singing about how devastated he is to try and get to her. The vocals back and forth right there. Huh?
The song's brutal enough as it is. I don't think it needs.
I understand, but can you imagine the storytelling from that aspect with a female singer in there showing her perspective versus the other perspective would make it.
True.
Oh, but look, that would be
I would
epic.
like to hear that, actually. Maybe if one of these bands listening would like to take a stab at it, I would listen to it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, first of all, the concept, it gives me chill bumps thinking about it, because, in this day and age and how much violence is in this world, that stuff happens. But to see the guy withering there and wanting to be, her Spartan or whatever and save her and can't move. And then her watching him and, not worrying what's happening to her because she's more worried about what's happening to him. You know, it'd be what a concept right there. I mean, that's a movie right there. I don't know.
I'm going to have to somehow sit down and record that song.
or rewrite it. I mean, I'm telling you, I mean, that's a concept right there.
But I actually think that is one of the most fascinating things about the scene that I'm drawn to, is that a lot of these bands are symphonic and do a lot of their music is a lot like mini soundtracks. You know, you listen to them and you go on a journey. You're taken to these different sonic landscapes and different stories. I mean, a lot of these songs tell stories, and I think that's what is sorely missing in a lot of the mainstream music. No, songs don't really tell stories anymore. It's all just,
True.
you know, a bunch of repetitive phrases for 3 minutes until it ends. And it's
You
just,
a stupid
you know,
hoe,
nobody...
you a stupid hoe, you a stupid hoe, you a...
Thank
like
you.
that.
Yeah, I didn't want to go there, but yeah, that you know what I'm talking about.
But, you know, and you're right. I mean, that's exactly what it is. And you look back, and even back in the metal era, or, you know, I mean, you look at bands like Iron Maiden, who all of their songs were stories.
Even the
They told
cheesiest
stories.
hair metal bands, you can say
Right.
what you want about your Warrens and your Poisons, but
Oh, I
even
love
those bands told a story.
Uncle Tom's Cabin, you know, Uncle Tom's Cabin, that song, you know, told a story, obviously. April 2031, I mean, Janie Lane was a hell of a lyricist. So.
Yeah, I mean, even Every Rose Has a Thorn tells a story. You know, so for a lot of, you know, I always like to joke that the hair metal bands were the boy bands of my day, because that was, when I was a kid growing up, that was what, you know,
No.
listened to
There were
as
still
kids.
New Kids on the Block and stupid bands like that.
That
was
came
metal,
on
too.
a little bit later for me. I mean, not
Right,
I
I know.
10 or, right. So, you know,
I mean,
for me,
I
it was,
grew up, Will and I are both 41 years old, so we went through that whole genre of, you know, hair metal bands, you know, and real metal bands. You had your Iron Maidens and your Judas Priest and Kiss,
right.
and then it translated into Motley Crue, and then it got a little lighter with Poison and Warrant.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but they were all, and they all told stories, and their songs told stories. Even the solos, you could, you know, hear a story in that, which is one thing that's missing in music completely now, of any kind of rock that's new. They don't play solos anymore.
Yeah, well, they all play their own instruments, which I think is, you know, also, you know, so many people these days just auto-tune everything, or, you know, press a button and make certain instruments. And I'm not entirely against that. I understand where, in some instances, it's necessary. Like, let's say, for example, a band like Nightwish, they cannot take a whole orchestra with them on tour, so sometimes they do have to press a button to make the orchestral sound. I get that. But a lot of
That's
these
understandable.
bands, you know, but a lot of the more mainstream, like kids who are coming up, let's say, through American Idol, like, they construct their whole musical being around the machine rather than using
Around
the machine to
soundtracks,
their
right.
advantage. Right.
Well, there's a picture, a meme that I've seen on Facebook floating around. It has this picture of a guy in front of a crowd of about 500 or 600 people, and he's on a stage, and all it is him and his laptop, and all these people are, like, you know, in front of him, you know, in an audience and everything, and the caption says, "Live on stage tonight, my laptop."
Yeah, I've seen that picture too.
I mean, there's a difference in using a wah pedal or using a little distortion through your amp than it is changing everything. Because, you know, what really killed me, especially back, you know, in the, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, you'd hear a band that you thought was awesome. And when you went and saw them live, they didn't sound anything like the CD. They didn't sound anything like the music you heard on the radio, because in a live venue, it was so stripped down, they didn't have the, you know, effects they had in the studios. Now it's a lot easier to bring those effects with you. But back then, I mean, it was like, well, why produce that kind of music if you're going to go on a live show? Why don't you sell me something that I want to hear, and that I'm going to hear when I come see you? I don't want to buy a ticket if I'm going to hear half of what you do.
Right.
Emma, we're leaving Emma out of the discussion.
We're kind of talking over you, and we apologize.
That's all right.
She's sitting there.
Come on in, have some fun.
Those
We're friendly, we won't bite, I
give us
promise. We won't bite hard. I promise.
Okay.
So,
So you came up with your own site, Femetalism. That's your baby right there.
It is, yeah. Me and my partner work on it together.
Who is your partner?
Sorry?
Who is your partner?
Craig. He's sat right next to me at the moment.
Well,
He does
tell him
all
we said
the
hello.
fancy web stuff. Makes the website look good, and he does a lot of the more extreme metal articles that we feature. That's one thing that we do kind of differently, I think, to many others, is we cover not just female singers but also other sort of female musicians. So the drummers and the guitarists and the bassists in all in bands. It's not, we don't just cover vocalists. So he tends to.
Thank you so much, because so much about music, when it comes to the mainstream or any kind of media about music, it's always about the singer and the guitar player.
Yeah.
I'm a bass player, and we always get left behind. It's just a bass player. So you know what?
No, we would never leave you behind, Thunder. We need somebody to set up the equipment.
You see? Look, he thinks he's funny. Too bad looks aren't everything.
It's really important to me that it isn't just female singers, that it is about whole bands.
Female musicians. That's
about,
right.
Yeah, that's precisely what it's about. So we feature bands that don't necessarily have a female singer, but they do have
a female bass player. All right, well, you know what? Look, I'm going to follow your website, because if this marriage that I'm in right now does not work out, I'm going to marry another bass player.
I'll find one for you.
And female bass player. And you know what? There's a lot of really, really good female musicians out there, bass players.
Yeah,
one in particular, White Zombie, Rob Zombie's first band, you guys remember?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Their bass player was a female, and she was badass.
Yep.
So,
Now,
we got to...
One thing that kind of came up earlier when we had our buddies from Never Fire on was the subject of like a female singer in the band or whatever being involved with
in relationships.
In a relationship with one of the other band members. Now, is that common, or I'm sure it happens, but is it like a large percentage of the bands out there have a couple in the band, or is that something that they kind of stay away from?
I don't know what the percentage of it is, but there are instances where it works very well. Like within Temptation, Sharon and Robert have been, partners for the 20 years that they've had this band, and it's their baby, and everybody knows that they're together, and they're a couple, and they have kids, and one of them, Robert, stays at home and takes care of the kids while she's on tour, and he writes the songs while they have a guitar player to fill in on the tours, and that's how they work, and it's it works for them. And then there's other instances like Lacuna Coil, where Christina and one of the other band members were involved for about 10 years, and then they broke up. And for a minute there, people were worried: are they going to break up? Are they going to make like the goth metal version of Rumors? What's going to happen? And
right.
but actually, she went on, married a guy from Slipknot, and the band has gone on since then, no problems, and so it can happen. It looks like even when they break up, they still maintain the friendship or the relationship in the band. I haven't really heard of. I'm sure it happens, but personally, I can't think of any instances where the band, someone had a relationship and the band broke up because of it. If there is, I can't think of anyone right now. So, I know with Nightwish there's a lot of rumors, but there's never been any confirmation of that.
Right. It's like No Doubt.
Right,
It
yeah.
was a bass player, and that was a good example.
Hold on. I gotta interrupt. We're about to hit the end of the show. However, we can keep going until until we get tired or whatever. But the show is going to go off the air here in a few minutes. So, but don't worry, you'll be able to hear the whole thing on YouTube. I'll have that up sometime tonight. So, don't worry.
Well, thanks for having me before we get cut off.
Yes.
Thank you guys for being on.
Cut off. Yeah. We're not going to get cut off. We'll be able to continue the show.
We'll be able to talk to the show itself on our feed will, stop live, but the recording keeps going on. We could talk for 10 more hours if we wanted to, and it's recorded. So, I mean, we've got plenty of time. We just want to go ahead and let the guys who are listening out here right now know that we got about 5 minutes left. And if you want to hear the remainder of what we're talking about, catch us up on the YouTube version of the show. And thanks for listening.
Yeah, and I'll have that on sometime tonight. But let's go ahead and break to close out the show with to close out the on-air version of the show.
This segment right here, yeah.
Yeah, we'll break with Terminatrix from Cape Town, South Africa, and the song Holy. They're also on Bandcamp, so check them out.
There's a review on soniccathedral.com.
Terminatrix with the song Holy, and they're from Cape Town, South Africa. Now they're obviously an industrial metal band, and but they're like heavily into like horror films and stuff like that. And on our Halloween spectacular
Halloween show.
Yeah, Terminatrix is going to be providing us with something original to contribute to that show, and we're I'm excited to
looking forward. Yes, excited and looking forward to what we're going to have for our show. But anyway, welcome back, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are very welcome.
And
so where were we before you interrupted us with that song, Will?
Well, we were talking about Terminatrix.
Yeah, there's actually a review of their album posted at Sonic Cathedral. So not written by me, but all of our writers are very good. So
they're just not as good as you, right?
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna do that.
I'll say that for you. I'll say that for you. That way you don't, there's no repercussions for you. But yeah,
I don't. I'm not very good at promoting myself. I'm always like,
well, we'll do it for you. We'll do it for you. So look for Christina at Sonic Cathedral because she is the best. She won't tell you, but we will.
Now, there's also a review of not only Terminatrix, but also Riseback and Severnica on my blog, williamtelltale.blogspot.com.
All right, next time you want to do that and you want to put the cha-ching behind it, don't stutter when you say it, all right? I'm just messing with you, buddy.
I actually interviewed Terminatrix recently as well. They gave me a very long and exclusive and detailed interview, so you should check that out as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, we stay in touch. There's some of the bands that we've interviewed that we've stayed in touch with. Terminatrix obviously is one of them. Riseback is one of them, and there's several others. 3D in Your Face. They're a glam band out of Omaha, Nebraska. We've had them on twice, and in fact, their bass player filled in for Thunder here one time. So yeah,
Yes, I was down and out and couldn't be on the radio, so he kind of filled in for me. And actually, he's got a radio show that he does as well. So
yeah, that's one of the things I like is keeping in touch with the bands after they've been featured. A lot of the bands stay in touch and keep me updated, so it's really nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we had some kids on earlier today in a band that we started doing this radio show late last year. Huh?
No, it was in October.
Is when we started? Yeah.
Remember the Halloween show last year was actually our third show.
Well, we had this band Never Fire On, and there were a bunch of kids that just got together, and they were just starting to do some things, and we were talking with them, and we had them back on earlier today on the show, and they've actually come a long way. They have a song they recorded, and then it needs a little work. It sounds good, but they're going to do it professionally. They're going to go to a recording studio, but they're actually playing gigs now and everything. We're kind of following them and watching them grow, and it's kind of a neat situation right there to go ahead and watch. From the garage era to where, even to where they are now in just a little less than a year, out playing gigs and getting ready to open for some, decent bands. And it's pretty neat to watch, And that's the one thing with doing what we do is finding these bands and watching them evolve.
Yeah, it's a really good part of it.
Yeah.
Well, what band did they say that they were about to go on tour with? This is another
Kevlar
band.
And
Avatar. I was listening.
Yeah,
no,
Kevlar and Avatar. Thank you.
It was Avatar,
the band they're going on tour with.
Oh, Mercy. Now, look, now you're making me think here. Hey, look, I'm getting to that old age right here, and my sometimers is kicking in right now. And if you hadn't asked me, I'd have told you right there. It'll come to me here in a minute, but anyway. Yeah, next year they were talking about going on tour with, it's a decently big band, overseas band as well.
No, they're from L.A.
Oh, it was LA. Oh, mercy.
Avatar was the one that.
Stitched Up. Was it Stitched Up Heart?
Yeah. Are either of you
Told you.
familiar with them?
I've not come across those now.
Anyway, well, you know, my brain started working there just after a second. You know, old age isn't that bad.
I won't expect anything else from you for a week or two.
All right, then we're good. All right, I filled my quota. So, ladies, you guys have your websites right here, your blogs. What is your ideas going forward with having these blogs and, you know, getting this music out there? You guys ever thought about maybe, now that you guys have met on our show, I don't know if you guys have talked before or not, have you guys ever thought about doing like since Emma, you have the greatest name right there with the Femetalism?
Thank you.
Yeah,
have
that
you
is a
thought
really cool
about
name.
doing like a Femetalism tour?
I have many ideas that probably won't ever come to pass. But yeah, I mean, I've thought about all sorts of things like, you know, it'd be really cool to put on a mini festival maybe, or we have thought about speaking to some of the artists and seeing if they'd put their music on a compilation or something like that. So there's lots of ideas, but whether they will come to pass is another thing. But yeah, it would be really cool.
You know, and actually, I mean, the festival takes a lot of money, takes a lot of, I mean,
Exactly,
travel and all
yeah.
that to get these bands together. But you did say to do a collaboration CD together, that would not take a lot of money. I mean, if they were to send you MP3s and everything, and you were to get it, you know, pressed into a CD, and Femetalism won, or, you know, I mean, there's a lot of
yeah, it'd be really
heavy
cool
metal
to do
and
that.
rock genres that have put bands together that aren't signed or, you know, are on the verge of being signed. I mean, that's something that you could really look into and really, I mean, that would be awesome right there.
Yeah.
I mean, just a collaboration of, you know, 10, 12 different bands that you really love and push forward. And, you know, you do the in-sleep cover. You could do some of your writings in it that you've already done and to print them out there. I mean,
do that.
yeah, I think that's a great idea, as a matter of fact. If you don't do it, I might.
Yeah, we already do that at Sonic Cathedral. I know that we have compilation CDs for sale in the shop, and you know, everybody. I can't remember if everybody gets to pick a band. It's been a while since there's been one, but one of the last compilation CDs, one of the bands I was writing about at the time got on the CD. So yeah, it's been a while since we've done it, but we're See, I'm not one of the higher-ups. You know, I have a boss that I answer to, and he's the greatest.
Understood.
But, yeah, he's the one that,
we all have that. And just
he's
to let you guys know, to go
he's in the
along.
process of designing a new website. You know, we're going to have a new website launch, and it's going to, you know, have a lot more features. And, you know, so hopefully whatever has not been as frequent as of late will start picking back up again or whatnot.
Well,
And,
Chris, I'm going
as
to
far
tell you
as
one
the
thing.
festivals, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you one thing right now, Chris. You know, if you're not one of the higher-ups now, I guarantee you will, because right before we went on that break, you were guaranteed to get your plug-in right there. It was awesome. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. You're like SonicCathedral.com. And I was like, I love it. I love it. That's CEO material right there.
Well, you know, I'm an American. We don't shake hands. We give business cards. You know, that's how we roll.
That's exactly right. I mean, but honestly, I mean, the ideas right there, they're awesome. And honestly, I'm very green to this whole femme metal thing. I mean, there's a lot of bands that you were talking about that I never heard of, and I'm going to have to go on both of your blogs and find these bands because
that's it. There's so many.
Yeah, and
exactly.
there's something for everyone. If you're, you know, if you're not really, because I know a lot of the major complaint I get from a lot of the people that are first getting into the scene is, oh, there's too much of the opera stuff. Well, it's you know, it used to be that way, but it's kind of branched out into other things. So if you're not as much into that, there's more traditional metal sounds. There's, you know, there's more punk. There's more like industrial metal, like you just played. And, you know, so there's something for everybody.
Yeah, I think the term female fronted, it doesn't cover one particular genre, it covers many, and I think that's the difference really now. Like like Christiana was just saying, you know, there's bands that aren't your traditional opera and symphonic. There's all sorts of genres of
Right.
with both female fronted and females in the band.
Actually, last week we had on a great band. Well, I mean, you call them a band, what have you. They play metal music, but they do it in an obscure way. They play harps. They're called the Harp Twins. And, I mean, they've done everything from Iron Maiden to Ozzy to Metallica, everything on harps.
Right, that's kind of like
I
our
love
Clips.
that.
They're kind of like that. They're not a metal band either, but they play violins and cellos, and they do, you know, everything from rock songs to mainstream pop songs. And they actually opened up for bands like Camelot last year, and so you know they do have a following in the metal community. But they're all females, and they all play.
I'm actually a sucker for things like that. I love when you have a 4-string quartet that'll play stuff like Disturbed or Metallica. And I also...
Then you should check them out, Eclipse with a K.
Eclipse with a K.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me write this down. Eclipse. I'm gonna look them up here in just a minute. Also, I'm a stickler for this. You ever heard of the band, the Lounge Lizards?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said, have you ever heard of a band? They're called the Lounge Lizards.
No, I haven't.
You know what? I think did Bill put them on his site or?
I don't know if Bill put them on the site or not. There was a movie that came out not too long ago. What was the zombie movie that came out? They did a song from Disturbed, and they did it in a old school. Huh?
That was Terminator. Wait a minute. What do you? What?
No.
Wait, I had to mute myself again. So what? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about a band called the Lounge Lizards, and they did a Disturbed song, but they've done all different kinds of genres of music, but they do it in the old '60s style, snapping finger Vegas lounge style music.
Are you sure it's not Jeff Tate?
Huh? Jeff Tate?
Yeah, Bill knows what I'm talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
No. The name of the band's the Lounge Lizards or something. And it's the same idea right there. What they do is they take songs and they do it in a kind of a jazzy kind of Vegas style.
I don't know.
And they did that. They did Down with the Sickness from Disturbed, and they've done all different kinds of songs. I've looked up 20 videos on.
Wow.
But it's the same thing, where you take a quartet, but these guys do it, it's totally different stuff. And I'm a sucker for that kind of music right there. Like, Weird Al Yankovic.
One thing I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, just like Weird Al Yankovic, I love all the stuff he does. He should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He should be, because he can do any type of music.
Are you kidding me? This is the same institution that took 15 years to induct Rush. Do you think they're ever going to get it together on Weird Al?
Oh, I know. Exactly. Rush doesn't make it in. I know. Trust me, I know. It's like, oh, we got Rush and we got Stone Temple Pilots. We'll take Stone Temple Pilots. Are you fucking kidding me?
Actually, I would be surprised if they got in, actually.
It just kills me right there. Because, first of all, ignore the rest of the band. The front man for Rush is a band in himself. To play keyboards, bass guitar, and first of all, to have the finger strength to play bass guitar one-handed, hammer off and hammer off.
Don't forget he sings while he does all that, too.
Oh, like an angel. I mean, he's ridiculous talented. Oh, it kills me. Look, I have a hard enough time playing and singing at the same time because I'm washing my fingers. I'm like, all right, I have to say something right now, really? And then he's like,
that's very hard.
Yeah, throw it at me. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm not only going to sing and play the bass, but can you set up a keyboard in front of me right here? I don't have enough to do. I'm kind of, look, it was a good show, but I was bored. Give me a keyboard. Get out of here.
And coming back to what we were saying earlier about, auto-tune and all this other stuff, can you believe we were once at a time when people just lost their shit when Rush did keyboards? It's like, now that's so tame compared to what people are doing now, It's just, now people are begging to bring the keyboards back, because it's more real than whatever's going on right now.
Yeah. Well, we were talking
Yeah, I
about.
mean, exactly.
Like,
Go
we were
ahead.
talking about. But before I had to mute myself, we were. You guys were talking about the different styles and how there's a little something for everybody. And I just kind of noticed that we kind of covered that on this show tonight. With you've got the industrial side with Terminatrix. You've got the just straight up metal or with with Riseback. Then you've got the punk side of it with Mongrel, and then you've got the symphonic gothic side of it with Severnica.
Yep, there's something for everyone, definitely.
Yeah, and that's just scratching the surface. It's just once you kind of get into this scene, once you dive in, you're going to be there forever. Just finding, it's kind of like watching YouTube videos.
You just be
click
enveloped
on
in it,
one, and by
man.
the end of the night, you end up in a totally different place than when you started out. So.
And
No,
you say that's when you know that you're doing something right there.
I don't mind if this show, if this show gets a reputation of being a place for the female metal genre. I don't mind.
Because it's,
in fact, I'd be honest.
You know why? I don't mind either, because it's fucking good.
Exactly.
Well, I know that I already helped you guys book a couple of those bands for the next few weeks, or
absolutely, man.
coming up in the next couple months. So yeah, it's really great. It'll be really great to see a lot of these bands get further exposure outside of what of our site and other places that can do this. So
exactly.
I'm always happy to help. To collaborate with other sites and radio shows that do this, because it really, especially metal in particular, this music is just it's a community. Everybody works together, and we're all in it for the same thing. So I'm always happy to help other fellow metalheads whenever I can.
And that's what it's about right there. It's a matter of just spreading the word, man, getting the music out there, and because without people like you, without people like us, a lot of this goes unheard.
Yeah, that's a big
So
motivator.
you might be able to go to, you go to your local bar or whatever, you hear a band that just blows your mind. And you're like, man, I cannot believe that you guys are playing in a bar right now. Why aren't you guys signed right now? You know what? Because they haven't been heard.
Right.
You can't have an executive
we've always
everywhere.
had to spread the word. It's always had to be a word of mouth form of music. It's never. I mean, even in the '80s when it was mainstream, it was always tinged with controversy. So metal has always thrived best in the underground when people hand you a tape or a CD and say, here, check this out, or take you to a show and say, you got to watch this band. It's always done best that way. So.
Yeah, have you heard this band? Oh no. Oh well, they're playing next week. And come with me. I want you to hear this band, and then it grows like that. And that kind of died out for a long time. I mean, there was very little. I mean, not a very little music scene, but it minimized itself for a long time right there. And you just had certain bands there, and especially now with the American Idol era, and that's where the next big act's going to come from, and that's where the next big rockers. That's not real. Put your dues in, man. Get your fingers dirty. I mean, do like we did in the old days, man. Get you a flyer and put it on a telephone pole, man, and tell them you're playing at the...
The thing about American Idol is this is the thing with American Idol for me and shows of that nature, is that it's very misleading. They make it sound like we're plucking someone from obscurity and turning them into a star, when technically it's not. A lot of these kids already have record contracts, or they've already got somewhat of a following on YouTube, so they're already kind of known, just not known by your grandma per se. That's what they mean by making them mainstream. That's so to me, I don't like the idea of American Idol because it's very misleading. If it was more like they say it was, and taking literally someone from who had no chance and had never been seen by anyone before and making something of them, I think I would be more inclined to support something like that, because that's, something like that is a good idea. But
like Emma right there. Emma, you sat there and you had a school project to do and created a monster out of it with, Femetalism right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you started from nothing and you had a project to do, and this project has turned to your life almost?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I do work full time as well, but yeah, it is a big part of my life now, and it's
exactly.
Yeah, and it's a joy to do. To be honest, it's thoroughly enjoyable, and I couldn't imagine not doing it now.
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't get
You're
paid for this. We don't get paid, and
No.
we do this because we
Right.
want to. And occasionally we
Exactly.
get free CDs or something like that. But I mean, to me, if even if I was getting paid, I would still do this probably for nothing anyway. But
Exactly.
this is what I
Well,
love
it's
to
the
do.
same thing with Will and I right here. We talked 2 years ago, and we were just kind of shooting an idea around about maybe doing a radio show, because there was a really cool talk radio station where we lived about 10 years ago, and they got really big, and it was just fun, just to be able to chit chat and bullshit around. And we started like shoot an idea around, and all of a sudden he's like, look, man, I've got it all set up, we're starting Tuesday night. I'm like, okay, really? And we did our first show, and we talked a little bit, and then he's like, oh, well, why don't we put some bands on there, because we know musicians, and we know music, we've done this for a long time. I'm like, all right, so we got some buddies of ours, and had them come on the show, and we started doing interviews, and it was like, man, hold up, this is kind of cool right here. And he's like, well, let's see if I can get some other bands on here. And he got a band from Pennsylvania, and then he got a band from New York, and then he got a band from
Florida. We got another band from Pennsylvania. Then we got another band from Pennsylvania. Then we got another
Pennsylvania is like a music scene right now. I don't know what it is, man. But
Yeah,
anyway.
there are a lot of bands from that area. It does. There must be something in the
ton.
water. And
I'm going to move up there, man. I mean, I know I'm a little old now, but, look, I still want to play, man. If I have to put on a Flower T-shirt and play some Jimmy Buffett, and if I can make it, I can make it.
Well, I think that's another fascinating thing about this scene too, is that we see a lot of people come into this as fans. You'll hear from people, oh, I'm in my late 50s, early 60s, and didn't think anybody made good music anymore, and I stumbled on your site and found all these bands, and so it's really cool to see that, and that's what I love about the metal community, is that there's no age limit on when you can be interested in this kind of music. It doesn't. And a lot of other genres, people are like, why are you're 30 years old, why are you still listening to this crap? It's just,
because that's what I grew up on.
Right.
And you know what? I wish I was just 30 years old. Oh.
I still have family members who are wondering when I'm going to get out of my metal phase. So.
Exactly. We were
I'm
talking
in my
today.
late 30s. I think it's not, it's not a phase at this point.
We lost him.
Exactly. I was talking to Will today. At the beginning of the show, one of not my favorite bands, but one of the bands I remember growing up that was a really that I enjoyed listening to. Next year is going to be their 50th anniversary, and they're going to do a new album and a tour.
The Scorpions.
50 years. The Scorpions, exactly. And I was like,
God.
look, let me tell you what. As soon as I read that article, I'm like, where is my walker?
Yeah, it's a trip, because. Last year was Van Halen's 35th anniversary of their first album, and everybody's like, oh, God, it can't be that old. And it's like, yeah, it is, because I was born in the same year. I'm 35, so, yeah, it is that old. I mean, it's hard to believe, but, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I turned 41 last week, 41. God bless America.
Oh, happy birthday.
Well, thank you very much. And, and when I turn on the radio and I go to the classic rock station and they're playing stuff like Motley Crue and Metallica, and I'm like, no, this should be Golden Earring, and this should be, are you kidding me?
I knew I was old the day that I turned on classic rock and heard Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's the day I knew that I was, no, I mean, and I know a lot of people are going to bitch about that, but it's true. I knew that was the day I was old, because now this is considered classic rock, the stuff that was popular when I was a teenager. Oh my God, now I'm old because it's on classic rock.
Someone told me a statement when I was about 22 years old that I know is true right now. You know when you're old, when you turn on Saturday Night Live, you don't recognize one person and don't know the band who's playing.
Oh, I've had that problem since the early 90s, so I guess I've been old since I've been 13. So.
But, I mean, seriously, I mean, Saturday Night Live was such a staple when you were young. Oh, it's so cool right here, and all your cool bands were playing, and the funny guys like Chevy Chase, and even beyond that. I'm like, all of a sudden now it's like, all right, well, who's this guy right here? It's not funny anymore. And
right, I always heard the joke, you're old when all your favorite videos are on VH1 and on MTV, but that joke doesn't really work anymore because nobody plays videos.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time, and that's what Will and I actually discussed when we started this radio show, was like, we want to be the MTV of radio. but the MTV of old, where we're playing music and we're actually, getting out there and doing some stuff. Because it's ridiculous now. If I turn on MTV, it's all about, this 15-year-old's pregnant. Really?
Yeah, it's pretty much all reality shows at this point, and
It's horrible.
I can't even think of the last time I turned on MTV and saw a video. I think it was at like 3 in the morning, and it was a rap video, and so it's just, they do play videos, but it's not very often, and it's usually just crap.
Right. It's a 30-second clip commercial that they play a video.
Something like
Which
that.
is, seriously, I've been sitting there and watching MTV, like my daughter or my son will be watching something on MTV. They'll have a commercial, and it'll say, so-and-so from Bronx, New York, and it'll be a rap video or something for like 30 seconds. And I'm like, that's not music television.
Yeah, I don't get why they still have the MTV Awards, because it's like, you don't play videos. How are you going to have awards for something nobody sees? Where are they seeing these videos? Okay, they're seeing them on YouTube. Well, why not have them on YouTube?
Exactly. They should be called the YouTube Awards, and,
pretty
much.
Take
your spaceman and popcorn and throw it away.
Yeah, YouTube should do their own awards show, and it would probably wind up blowing the MTV one out of the water.
Didn't they have a YouTube Awards last year? And as usual, the most mainstream shit got nominated. And
oh yeah, is it like a cat playing the piano because there was treats on it or some shit like that?
Actually, that I would have had a lot of respect for that. I think it was more like Bieber. And
oh, and look, we've tried giving that sumbitch back to Canada 100 times. Oh, Justin Bieber.
Yeah, Canada made a mistake there. I thought they could never make mistakes musically, but I guess they let one slip by.
No, they didn't.
Wow.
They didn't make a mistake. They knew exactly what they were doing. They kicked his ass out of there.
Yeah, I kind of tend to think it's their war strategy against the United States.
Here, Usher, Usher, Usher. Here, Usher, Usher, Usher. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but
anyway,
talking about the American Idol crap. I'm sorry, I don't recognize those people. I don't acknowledge them. Chris Daughtry, Kelly Clarkson. Are they amazing singers? Yes, they are. But
no. Hold on now. I'm going to tell. Chris Daughtry actually made a career, and he is a good musician, very good musician. Yeah. I mean, I like his music. It's not metal music. It's good rock music, but it's not metal.
I don't think he's where he wanted to start out. Let's just put it that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, last year, I'm telling you right now, now my wife and my kids love American Idol, so I do have to watch it. Last year, the singer that won last year is a 17, 18-year-old kid, got some long hair, and he sang nothing but Led Zeppelin and shit like that the whole time. He is a true metalhead, and I hope he goes far, man. He was a true metalhead. He didn't change his shit up. Straight up rocked out the stage every time. Put it this way, the band at the end of the season was like, look, we've never had more fun than playing with this guy right here because he is a true artist, like metalhead artist.
But I think that the American Idol thing is starting to get that, because they didn't let guys like Daughtry and people like that do that at first. Like, no, you have to sing Michael Jackson tonight. No, you have to sing, Beyonce tonight.
Right.
So I think they're finally getting it that, let whatever you're good at, let that be what it is, and so on. But
no. There's one version of a song that was a Michael Jackson song that a rocker did on American Idol. That was awesome. And that was David Cook when he did Billie Jean.
Yeah, see, I stopped watching American Idol. I usually stop watching after the duds.
It's kind of fun to watch. It's fun to watch, exactly. You got the one guy who, and I don't understand why you would be there.
I live for the next William Hung,
Exactly. But when you come out there, now look, I'm a bass player, and I have a very, very deep voice here. I could go ahead and I could be a lead singer if I was in a band like Crash Test Dummies.
Oh, God.
But I could never be a lead singer for Warrant or something like that. I know my limits right there. But you have people that come on there that don't know their limits, and the sad thing is their parents tell them that they sound good. Be honest with your children, people. Be honest with your children, please. Because it's more embarrassing on national TV than you going, look, man, you suck, dude. Look, I don't care what it is. I'll buy you some golf clubs.
I don't play it. You know?
Try golf clubs, man. I'll take you to the driving range, see if that works out. I'll get you a baseball bat. Singing's not your gig, buddy. No, they're like, oh, you're fantastic.
And it's sad because you see them and they're like, but I want to sing. I want to be a singer. Well, just because you want it doesn't mean you can do it. You know, I want to be 6 feet tall, but it's just all my wanting in the world isn't going to make me 6 feet tall. You know, it's just I'm short and that's what I'm always going to be. It's just that's the way it is.
I feel you know what my nickname is? My nickname's the Thunder Midget. All the bands I was in with Will and everybody's 6 foot tall. I'm 5'6", and I play bass guitar, so I got the biggest guitar and I'm the shortest guy on the stage. I look like the guy from the Lord of the Rings out there.
Well, you know, Ronnie James Dio was a man short of stature, and you know, nobody ever called him Midget Ronnie because he put a spell on your ass.
That's right. No, I call myself the Thunder Midget because I'm powerful. Damn it.
Hey, guys, we need to wrap it up. My phone's about to die.
Yeah, I gotta go make dinner. I'm sure my
I gotta do the same thing right
yelling
there.
at me.
Anyway.
Well, it's
Krista, it's been a pleasure. Emma, are you still there?
No, she her
she bowed out.
crashed on her. She just sent me an email saying that she was.
Oh, how terrible.
Yeah. It happens, and when we're in the overtime feature, which is what we're in right now, we just call it overtime because we're both football fans. But when we're in that feature, you can't call in, so she wasn't able to get back in. But
well, anyway, Krista, it's been a pleasure. It was a pleasure talking with you also, man. I'll tell you what, I mean, kind of connected with you a little bit more than some other guests right there. I like that right there, and I love your ideas right there.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, it was a pleasure talking to you guys, and I've been meaning to call you guys up and, talk to you guys about metal and stuff like that. So hopefully we can do this more often, and, if there's anything coming up on the site, I'll be glad to stop by and let you guys know. And, of course, when our new website's revealed, I'll, give you guys a heads up so you can take a look around and all that. Cool. So, yeah, it's awesome talking to you guys. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to promote Sonic Cathedral and give a shout-out to all my wonderful staff and family there. And
oh, it was our pleasure, and I meant what I said when I said that I would be honored to have this show known for promoting female metal. I mean, we're not going to be exclusive, but it could be a big part of it, and we appreciate the thought of you and Emma both helping us out and everything, and also if we ever
great, whatever we can do to help, just let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep this collaboration going together right here, and I can't wait to look up clips right there and the Sound of Thunder.
Oh, yeah, I think you guys are really going to love A Sound of Thunder. Hopefully, their new album will be out September 9th. Hopefully I can see about getting you guys hooked up with them on your show. They're definitely a fun interview, fun people, and I think you guys will have a great time.
Well, all right. Well, Kristen, thank you very much for being on the Will and Thunder Show. We appreciate every time, the time you took to be a part of this. I know how it is. So, you got things to do and people to talk to and work to do, but we appreciate you taking this little bit of time to be with us.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me.
One more thing. I mean, I would like to get a copy of that of their new album and review it on my blog. I've been slacking on my blog since I started my new job and went from being unemployed and having all the time in the world to working 50 to 60 hours a week and having no time.
Okay, yeah. Let me talk to Josh and have him send you a copy.
Okay, that'd be great. I'll review it and get it up on my blog. I've got a few other reviews that I need to get to as well. But I'm neglecting my poor blog.
Oh, I know. I've been neglecting mine too. Just All right. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too, and go in there and enjoy cooking your supper and enjoy your food.
Stay metal.
That's right.
Absolutely. All right. That was.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Christiana Skye from Sonic Cathedral and Emma Sheridan from Femetalism.
Femetalism.
That was awesome. So, and we'll definitely have them on again. Next week we've got Lindsay Schoolcraft of Cradle of Filth, and we'll see you next week. On the Will and Thunder
All right, buddy, man. You have a good night, man. Same
Thank you for
bat
listening to the
time,
Will
same
and Thunder
bat
Show.
channel next
Go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you for listening to the Will and Thunder Show. The band that's going to take us out is Beyond the Fade from Charlotte, North Carolina. You can find them at Beyond the Fade at Twitter and also at Facebook, Beyond the Fade. The song's called Lights Out, and they're going to take us out. Thank you for listening to the Will and Thunder Show. We'll be back next week, same time, 10 p.m. Eastern till midnight, with another awesome guest for you. Later.